and I am introducing let's see. I probably should spotlight myself too when I'm talking, huh? Just to be an annoying person. So, Leave It to Chef has been happening every week for over 4 years, and now we're doing it virtual. And the fun thing is, we get to cook together, we get to learn from each other, and we also get to share with each other. We have people right now from all over the world logged in, and the fun thing about virtuality, let's see, I'm looking at Florida, Cyprus, Toronto, St. Louis, North Carolina. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. And so thank you very much for visiting me. I am going to turn it over to you because I taught a 7-hour class today and I don't really have much talking ability left. So
That's okay.
if you could introduce yourself, and before we get into the cooking, tell us a little bit about your food culture, a little bit about why you like to cook, because Americans don't really cook, but
Okay, so hi, my name is Michy. It's really nice to see you guys. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really thankful that you guys chose to spend this evening with me so we can make summer rolls. My passion for cooking really started with my childhood because my parents own a restaurant, so there was always good food around me anyway. My dad is a chef, and he's gone to culinary school in America as well as Taiwan. And so having spent my childhood in Taiwan, but also growing up in the South, I just really started to take on Southern cooking along with my dad's recipes, which was passed down from my grandfather. So it really just became this generational thing because on the other side, my mom's family ran a baozi business. So they also
what kind of
oftentimes
business?
a baozi business, dumpling, like
Oh,
so
like
okay, so
I
yeah,
know.
so in English, dumplings are used for like everything, and it's very different. But in English, it would be called a dumpling. However, this is a steamed bun with vegetables or meat inside. So they had a business delivering to factories all around Taiwan, and so that's how my mom grew up. And so my dad also grew up cooking, and then of course they immigrated to America, and then they opened up restaurants here in Alabama. And I just traveled back and forth with my parents from Taiwan, and then of course back home to Alabama, and just completely got immersed within Asian cooking, within Southern cooking. And I love trying new things.
When you're
So,
saying Southern, you're talking Southern America.
yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
can you
Southern
make
America,
like
Alabama.
Asian fried chicken? Is that like,
Yes, actually, yes.
ooh,
It's funny. A friend of mine and I were talking today about, making an Asian inspired burger, for instance. So just, little experimentations like that.
fun?
My dad and I really enjoy doing, and we just kind of like challenge each other. So that's where my love of cooking kind of started. I
Mine's
really love
exactly opposite. My mom wasn't
yeah.
a very good cook, so I had to learn how to cook, and it just kept the inspiration going. So I always
Well, I
like to
love
hear.
giving food to people.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
I'm an
I
emotional
love
cook,
making.
and I'd have to
Uh-huh.
eat everything I made if I couldn't figure out how
Oh,
to share it, right?
right. So I love cooking for people. I love taking photos. I
Oh, that
love
part. I
cook.
can't make it look good. I know. I can make it
But
taste good.
then on the other hand, I also really love to experiment. So some people are my guinea pigs.
So, like off the top of your head, what is the weirdest thing you felt like you made that people actually liked?
Hmm. Okay, I have made cucumber whipped cream.
What?
Cucumber whipped cream. So I challenged myself to putting more vegetables into confectionery because one summer when I was in high school, I had this bright idea that I was going to be a confectionery chef. And so in my summer between school semesters, I started a little mini cupcake business in the restaurant. And I started with like, you know, the generic strawberries and chocolate and vanilla, but then I also kind of got into a little unique territory, and I started incorporating more vegetables to fake out the children. So parents would buy the cupcakes for the kids.
My favorite,
so I was,
my favorite
Mhm.
stir fry ever was a Chinese stir fried cucumber. It's like
See, yeah.
it was like really light and fresh and like remind me of spring. And yeah, I never had thought of, you know, stir fried cucumbers before. So
But it's
all right,
delicious. Yeah,
cucumber whipped cream.
cucumber whipped cream. So
I
zucchini
was like,
cupcake with a cucumber whipped cream.
I, I wasn't sure. I just challenged you with that question and you came right up. So
But we can get started. I see it's 6:07. So I
yeah,
don't know if everybody is also cooking along, but I do have it paced to where, you know, if you were cooking along, you'd be able to follow.
thank you.
Okay. All
Let's see.
right. I see Emily says that she's cooking along. So that's awesome.
She's in Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, awesome. Wow. We are super international here.
Yeah. She was actually the first one to do the virtual cooking class when I switched to virtual. And she was
Oh,
nervous because she didn't think, you know, I mean, it's hard to cook on camera, right? But it's also fun because we're like cooking together.
right.
So,
It's super fun. I think you and I spoke a little bit earlier. I'm going to go ahead and crack my eggs. We have 4 eggs with a little splash of cream or milk, depending on what is your preference. Some people prefer heavy cream. Some people want almond milk or real milk, whichever you like. But I think we were saying, oh, right. So, you know, it's not, this is my first time cooking with a group. So I'm super excited. The times I've cooked over Zoom were usually one-on-one with friends. We've made black bean burgers, we've made kimchi pancakes, we've made the Japanese souffle pancakes, and a couple of other things. So I'm really happy to meet everyone and be able to cook together. So here I just have 4 eggs and a little splash of almond milk. And first we're going to, right now we're just going to scramble these. What this will do is we're scrambling them and then we will put them in the summer rolls. Now I understand some people may be vegetarian. This can be the substitute for meat too, if you would like. So just making sure that they're well incorporated. Do we have people here with dietary restrictions? Maybe using just egg instead of real egg, or if you were being more health conscious, using egg whites are fine too. Right here, I just have some garlic powder, onion powder, and some Slap Ya Mama's Louisiana spice. So yeah, and feel free to unmute yourself. We can all talk. Yeah, did anybody have any dietary restrictions by any chance?
so I'm a super professional chef. I had to wash my pot because I didn't have time to wash.
Uh-oh. Don't worry, you'll get to catch up. This will make 3 little pans. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. We just want a light layer. And if you don't have a square pan like this one, of course, a round pan is fine too. I have it on medium high.
We have a question. This
Yes.
egg cream egg milk mixture that you're heating up right now, is that
Mhm.
something that's going inside the roll?
Yes.
Or is this okay? So
It
it's
is.
like a substitute for chicken or
Well, it can be, but it's also a great addition.
okay.
So the really nice thing about this is if, let's just say, you did not like the rice paper, you could take all these ingredients that we're doing today and put it with some egg noodle, and you would have cold noodle, liang mian. So basically that is something that we typically eat in the summer. And you have egg noodles, and then you cool it down, and then you have all these other ingredients, chopped, shredded, etc. And you make a peanut sauce as well, or sesame sauce, so using tahini or freshly ground sesame seeds. And then put it all together, and it kind of looks like a Buddha bowl, but with noodles. And then you would have cold noodles for the summer.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you put oil or butter or anything in your pan?
Oh yes, I did put a little bit of oil before we started recording.
Okay, and how are you doing it on like a low heat or?
I am on
Medium?
medium high currently.
Okay,
So you're
perfect.
just basically making like scrambled eggs.
Yes, I'm just making scrambled egg. I'm not stirring it, but I'm having just a little blanket of egg. Right now, we're just going to let it firm up.
So you stirred it and then let it sit, basically?
Yes, so you can see I moved it around and I'm pulling it forward to let any of the egg yolk come back, or egg white come back onto the pan. We want it to be sturdy enough to where when we cut it into slices, it won't break down.
Is there anything mixed in with the eggs? Or is it just
Yes.
eggs?
So a second ago, we had the garlic powder, onion powder, and some slap your mamas. This is just Cajun seasoning.
Yeah, slap your mama doesn't sound Taiwanese.
No, that's the southern part. That's the southern part of me there. Let's switch to a bigger spatula. Yeah, I told you, if you read the description by any chance, inspired, right? Having grown up in the South and having Chinese, Taiwanese parents. So just kind of fusing those things together. But the thing is, because of the vegetables and then the rice paper is very bland, most of your flavor is going to come from the egg and any of the seasoning you may put with your shrimp, or any other, if you use chicken or beef, sliced beef or sliced pork, any of that, and your sauce, right? So your egg, your sauce, and your meat of choice.
Well, that's funny. Like I had everything to make the sauce, but I had the rice paper, but I had to go out and buy. What did I have to buy?
What did you have to buy? You don't
Carrots.
remember?
Carrots.
Carrots.
I
No,
had
the
no
easiest thing, buying the matchstick carrots.
And
Super
then,
simple.
oh, and there was nobody had fresh basil.
Oh, nobody had fresh basil? Oh, okay, so you
But
can
I have
actually
cilantro.
start growing your basil. You start growing your basil and growing your green onions. I also had to get basil, but you can take this and it will soon root and you will have more basil.
Huh.
I like
The
those
same
little
thing.
flasks.
Usually,
Yeah, same thing with the green onions. So my first one is done. I'm going to lay it to the side so we can let it cool. And this pan is actually pretty non-stick, so I'm not going to oil it one more time, maybe on the third one. What were you saying before I interrupted you?
I don't remember.
Okay, you'll remember later.
But mainly, we're just chopping up all the stuff for like
Yes.
to put in the roll.
Right now, prep work is your best friend for this.
The rice noodles,
Mhm.
I just have soaking in water.
Yes, that's fine. Hot water or cold water? If you start
Cold.
off with warm water, and then it'll soften. And then when they're the right consistency, then you can rinse them into cold water.
I'm so excited. I just got this mini little rubber spatula. And it's like
What
perfect.
does it look like? I'm spotlighted, so I can't see your rubber spatula, unfortunately.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
Let's see, I'm gonna change to gallery. Oh, now I'm switched to gallery view. All right, so where are you? Where's your spatula?
See, it's like
Oh, very cute. I love that.
just the perfect little
Adorable.
one.
It is. All right, so this second little blanket egg is almost ready.
So you said I shouldn't flip it at all.
I'm sorry.
You said
Oh,
I
when the
shouldn't
bottom, yes, when the bottom is, let's see, I'll show you this one.
Oh, it's perfect. Okay.
Good.
I was
Okay,
thinking-
good. Yeah, when the bottom is well golden, you can flip it over. And just a few seconds on the other side, it'll quickly match up and be the same. I'm going to get the second one. Again, we got another pretty little blanket egg.
All right. Otherwise, I'm just cutting up all the veggies.
Yes, and we can cut the vegetables together. I have half of the vegetables left so that I can cut with you.
Maybe you could teach us some tricks on how to julienne carrots. I never seem to get those. Make them.
So, other than cutting, yes, but what may save your life is one of these. While having the proper knife skills is very important. Sometimes we're too lazy. So I have this 3-way peeler. One side is off the most common peeler. This side is for soft fruits. You see it's got these serrated edges. So for like mango, for instance. And then this side, which is the most important side, right here, you julienne your carrots.
Very cool.
I know. I can share that on the events page if you guys would like.
Did you get that at Amazon?
Yes, I love Amazon.
I love
Amazon
kitchen
has the
gadgets.
best things.
But it's
Yes.
not in my random everything drawer.
But yes, other than having, a properly sharpened knife and good knife skills, but in a pinch, that is very, very efficient. I'm on my last little blanket egg here. I'm just mixing it back up, make sure the spices are well incorporated throughout. And I'll pour it back in. The third time I did add a little bit more oil.
All right, let's see if I can do it.
You can do it.
I was gonna try.
It's okay. It's okay if it looks a little not perfect. Oh, you did do it. That's awesome. We're going to be slicing these up in a minute anyway, so they will still equally be delicious.
That zucchini or?
I know that's cucumber.
What?
This is a long English cucumber, so
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
it's just like big cucumber.
I get it. Yeah, that's why I asked, because I wasn't sure.
But I do like using zucchini instead of cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cucumbers don't agree with me too well.
Oh, really? You can use celery even to
Yeah.
maintain that crunch.
Yeah.
I personally like, what are those, the hothouse cucumbers or English cucumbers more so than those waxy ones. I feel that when it comes to those waxy ones, you have to peel off the skin because the peel is actually quite bitter in comparison to the hot house or the English cucumbers or even Persian cucumbers even.
Yeah, so when I grew up, we grew our own cucumbers, and if they're in the sun, they get really bitter. So we would cut off the tip, and then you would rub it, and it draws all this bitterness out, and then you'd have to cut that section. So basically, cut off, you rub it,
Okay.
and somehow it draws the bitterness to the end, and then you cut off a section at the end.
I never heard
That
that
is
one before. That's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah,
I love
try
that.
that out and let me know
Yeah.
how well you think. Because when we would grow them, if they were out in the sun, the skin would get really hard,
Bitter and hard, yeah.
and get bitter because when it's hot out. But yeah, so that was one. Basically, we couldn't eat a cucumber without if you picked it in the garden, you'd bite off the first bite, and then you'd take that bite out of your mouth and rub it at the end. And then the
just
first
that
bite
quickly.
would be bitter, but then the rest of it would not. If you did it without cutting it.
Just that quickly? It didn't have to you didn't have to wait or anything?
Well, the longer it was, the more you'd have to rub.
Okay.
Draw
That is super interesting.
I
would love to try that. Yeah.
But it seems to work for me. So far, all we're really cooking, right, is the eggs and then soaking the noodles in warm water. And then if you have any meat, you want to cook that.
Right. So since we're talking, I'm going to go ahead and start my water boiling right here so we can do our carrots.
I like the taste of cucumbers, so that it's a little bitter, but that's actually one of my favorite vegetables. So,
have you ever had Chinese bitter melon?
I was just about to say that. Oh my gosh, I was just about to mention. Have you ever had bitter gourd?
no.
And
then I agree, that may be something up your alley. Or good catch.
Recently, I had it as an Indian curry using bitter gourd.
If you want to know something funny, usually children do not like bitter gourd. And all right, so I'm gonna switch pans over here. I'm going to heat up this oil. I'm gonna throw in a few shrimp. Now, children usually do not like bitter gourd, and it is an old wives' tale that the reason children do not like bitter gourd is because their life have not been bitter enough, and that is why adults love bitter gourd. And it's so good to them that the bitterness almost tastes sweet.
So
very interesting.
The more bitter your life is, the sweeter the gourd is?
The sweeter bitter gourd tastes to you. Yes. So the funny thing is, I always try to or eat the bitter gourd my dad makes. Every time he makes it, I always give it 2 chances, 2 slices. I mean, it's a beautiful vegetable and it smells good, but it's something about the taste, right? It is bitter. And every time I eat it, give it 2 tries, and it just doesn't work for me, unfortunately. I would love to, because I know it's got so many good vitamins. It's great for your skin. And my parents always laugh at me and tell me it's because my life hasn't been bitter enough. So I just got to keep waiting, is what they tell me.
Well, they do say your taste buds change every 7 years.
This is true. And so, maybe in another 7 years.
When I don't like something, she'll don't worry, eventually you'll like it.
Eventually. Maybe in another 7 years.
The funny thing is, I'm that way with beets. I cannot stand beets, and everyone on both sides of my family love them. And you put beets on my plate, I will throw the entire plate out because I don't like the taste of beets.
I used to be like that with the canned beets until I had at one of these dinners, I had a lady from Ukraine make beet borscht. and I was like, oh my God, I've never had like real beef. Every time I have it in the can, it's completely different. And so she actually we had to special order a bushel of beets for her to do that before.
Oh wow.
So
I'm just putting in a little bit of soy sauce. I'm just putting in a little soy sauce, and then I'm gonna dash in a little bit of white pepper.
I just want to add in that I'm hosting an event tomorrow night on Zoom. There's an interesting. I'm a big sports guy, and I like to show live, like do a live event.
So
Maybe
Nathan, put it in the
drinking
chat.
rules. I did.
All right.
Throwing some drinking rules, like it's an outdoor hockey game on Lake Tahoe. Like they're doing it right outside Lake Tahoe, like where the Lake Tahoe is in the background.
Hey, I've never seen someone cook with chopsticks.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, in cooking shows, but like in person.
I have this pair for frying, and this, I mean, any pair really, but this pair especially for frying.
See, for frying, I've got these bamboo tongs, so I guess they're like,
it's kind of, yeah.
What, white man's, I don't know.
It's funny. At the restaurant, we have so many pairs of chopsticks that we use, and tasting spoons, but so many pairs of chopsticks to one for what is it called? Taking up the noodles in big batches. We have one for taking up all the bean sprouts and any Napa cabbage, etc. So you should convert to using chopsticks. They're very versatile.
I have coordination issues, and I cannot. I've tried chopsticks, and it doesn't. I'm not coordinated enough.
So I started using chopsticks thinking it would make me eat slower until I learned how to eat fast with them. Anyway. But I originally started using them to slow me down.
Or switch to your non-dominant hand. Then you'll.
Yeah, I was just about to say, go ahead and go with your left hand and eat with your left hand instead. But in terms of chopsticks, you can rig up a little tab right here and tie it up with rig a paper tab right here and tie it up with rubber band, and then you would be able to use it like this instead of using your fingers. It would be kind of like tongs, but maybe that could help with the dexterity of your fingers. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw my carrots in. Into my water so that they can soften, and then we'll blanch really quickly.
Oh, so the carrots aren't going to be raw.
No, carrots are not going to be raw. They're quite crunchy unless you get them paper thin, as if you used a potato peeler on them. So when they're julienne like this, matchstick carrots or julienne, it's best to soften them up a little bit. But don't worry, you'll get to catch up because I also have to do the vermicelli noodles too.
Well, I've got those ready already.
Yeah, see, you're one step ahead right there.
Well, I like rice noodles. I like soaking for like 30 minutes in water.
Which, if you're using cold water and you're soaking for 30 minutes, then yes, that would be fine. For me, I would be throwing this through the sieve and catching the hot water, and then using that hot water to put the noodles in.
Okay, so the carrots are the only thing we're cooking?
The carrots, we did carrots and egg and shrimp, at least on my end. So whatever meat you had, egg, and then carrots.
So I guess, yeah, I mean, the carrots just to make them more tender.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just blanching.
All right, so I'm going to do a little switcheroo here. And then go ahead and
Is it bad that I'm eating like half of the stuff?
half of the what?
Everything here you can eat. Like, wow.
Yes, you could. But that's what I'm saying. If you found out that you ended up not liking rice paper, for instance, you could very well use this and put egg noodle and make it into the cold noodles. The summertime staple.
Yeah, I do cold buckwheat noodles.
Oh, that's good.
Explain to me that. I love buckwheat noodles.
Well, you just
Cook them and then let them cool.
cook them, and then you cook them and then you plunge them into a bowl full of water with ice cubes in it. So it stops the cooking. Otherwise, they'll continue to cook.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then-
So I usually just let them cool, but that works a lot better.
Yeah, then they get mushy. So yeah, you plunge them into the cold water to stop the cooking.
I love buckwheat noodles with sesame oil and sauce.
Yeah, exactly. You can make a dipping sauce.
So
I use a concentrate that anyway.
So you're only blanching of the vegetables, Michy, you're only blanching the carrots?
only the carrots, yes.
Okay.
Now these are the rice noodles. Now you can buy them in the pack where they're like a big block, but what's really convenient is that they also sell them in these little sheets right here.
Cool.
So that means,
All
whenever
I
they're
had was
soft.
the instant ramen mix. So I just took one of the
Which, I
packs of
mean,
noodles.
it works too. It works too. But for if you wanted to make this in the future and you happen to stop by the Asian grocery store and you see a pack of these, pick them up because they do make your life just a little bit simpler.
Well, I eat a lot of rice noodles, and I just happened to eat the last one like yesterday, and I didn't have time to go to the store.
How long do you do the carrots for?
How long do I do the carrots for? Usually until the water boils, and then I turn it off, let it simmer for maybe another 2 minutes. But you can see, very soft, right?
I put my
Very
water
soft.
on, but I didn't put the carrots in.
You just want them to be tender, so you're not crunching too hard. Carrots can oftentimes take a little longer, so you want it to be one of the first vegetables to cook or to boil or even steam even. And that way it makes your process simpler whenever you wrap them up. And then having a more tender carrot still lends to the crunch without the, have you ever chewed so much that the side of your jaw felt really tight? Yeah, so it prevents that.
I mean,
All right, so my noodles are softened. And this is the really great thing about having these sheets. Whenever we wrap them up, I can just do one sheet per wrap, or even cut these in half, and do half a sheet per wrap. All right, so I'm going to move over here, and we're going to cut our vegetables while.
do you have a preferred drink to go with this meal?
Preferred drink?
Yeah.
I'm always a tea person, but I understand that this doesn't necessarily go with that. I like a clear broth soup rather to go with this.
That's what I'm making, both tea and soup.
Oh, nice.
I'm just using the bits of leftover veggies, and I'm putting it in water and boil.
To make a little broth. That's awesome. All right, so what we have here, we have our eggs. And I was afraid because I did not provide measurements on the recipe list. I was afraid that people may want them, but now I understand that, you know, you guys don't use them. So that's great. Because I normally don't use measurements either.
Like your cleaver.
Oh, thank you. You know, okay, so I think, which I mean, in Chinese, you would just call this a vegetable knife, but I believe you would call it like a butcher knife or even a Chinese cleaver. In the kitchen, this is really all you need because this side can tenderize meat. It can be used as if it's a food processor for pork or shrimp or chicken even.
Wow.
The tip of it is great to spatchcock chickens or duck. Yeah. And of course, the base of it, you can get into harder. My dad and I have used the base of these knives to open clams, open oysters.
Wow.
And of course, then the knife itself. So it's so versatile.
That is amazing.
I'm just going to layer up my egg right here. And we're just going to cut them into strips. So I cut them in half. I'm going to put it on top of one another. And then.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why you did a square one and it comes out a lot neater.
Yes, but even if it was a circle, it would be okay. You would just cut your circle in half and then layer your halves on top of each other. Cut that into fourths. So now you have like a pizza, small pizza size, and then you can go ahead and cut.
How long do you want the pieces to be? Like what's the maximum length?
Palm size or a little longer is okay.
Okay.
Because that's about how long our wrap will be. You see, it's a little bit longer, but that's okay. We can fold it over. So about palm size. And then I'm going to.
Oops, this is not square. I need this curved part.
Oh, you know, isn't it called making sure, what is it called? Quality check. Yes.
Quality control.
Quality check. You know, my dad and I are quality checks for each other. And during the holidays, it can get very competitive. I've sent photos to my friends of plating competitions that I have with my dad, and random people that we select have to choose which plate is the prettiest.
Ooh,
presentation.
Yes, presentation, absolutely. So right now I'm going to take my bell pepper. I've already cut some, right? So they have some chew, they have some bite. They're not so paper thin that they can't hold its shape, because you do still actually want some chew in your spring roll or in your summer roll. Also, I have cucumber, and I'm going to cut that as well. And go ahead and cut our bell pepper, which in the recipe I said you can use green, yellow, red, any color. What's great about it is so pretty because the rice paper is so thin. You can really see all the colors in it.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't really care much for is green bell pepper.
Really? Do you find that it's not as sweet? Is that why?
I don't know. It's one of the vegetables. Like, I really like green flavored stuff, but for some reason, green bell pepper.
So I've got.
I like it in chili. Chili, it gives it. But
so maybe you like it cooked down.
More so.
Assume, but not necessarily raw.
Very much so, yeah.
All right, I'm going to cut my cucumber now.
I need to watch that because I haven't cooked mine. I was unsure how to. Oh, okay, that's easy.
Super easy. Fast meal. Just little matchstick sizes. Maybe, I was going to, maybe, what is this, like 3 millimeter? About that much. So taking your cucumber, cutting it in half right here, and then you're able to start cutting. My friend gifted me this butcher block and I'm so grateful for it right now. I'm not sure if he's in here today, but super grateful for it. It's come in handy. Although I don't know how this sound is picking up on the microphone. I hope it's not too awful.
Don't worry, if it's the sound of food being made, it's wonderful. Anything that works towards that goal, 5 stars.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had one of those very, very sensitive microphones, you know, where you get up close and you can hear like, oh, right here, you can hear like the crunch of things. Oh my gosh, I would love that. Very ASMR-ish. Okay, so where are we at with the people who are cooking along? We have cucumbers, we have bell peppers, we have basil that we just tore. Keeping the leaf intact, not necessarily tearing the leaves, but just having the leaves intact here. And then some green onion or spring onion right here. Oh, you can't even see. Here we go. Spring onion right here. Some basil here. Bell pepper. We've got cucumber. We've got our carrots right here. And our sliced egg right here. Okay.
Well,
and then we have
sauce,
our pretty lettuce,
the ginger
which you can use.
Sauce, right?
I'm sorry?
The ginger and garlic's for the sauce, right?
Yes, ginger and garlic is for the sauce. So,
I felt so accomplished that I had everything to make the sauce.
Oh, that's wonderful. See, you have a good spice cabinet. I use romaine particularly because I like the crunch. However, you can also use butter lettuce. You can use iceberg, any sort of vegetable that you prefer. I've also seen chard or kale as well. So whichever that you prefer. I'm going to check on our noodles. Oh yeah, they're great. So I'm off camera right now, but I am rinsing.
Part I'm nervous how to do the actual rice paper.
I'm sorry?
I'm nervous about how to do the actual rice paper.
No, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous at all. You'll be
I've had this package for probably a year because I've wanted to do it and I've just been nervous to open it.
Oh, well, perfect timing then. Don't worry. Don't be nervous. Oh, yes. I almost forgot. How can we forget our shrimp? So we have our shrimp right here. And if you're using shrimp, then what we want to do is slice them in half. Butterfly them, essentially. I'm getting some warm water. Okay. So we want to take our shrimp. We want to cut them down half size.
So we're basically just making everything really small.
So they're
okay.
Right here. So the shrimp was like this. We're just butterflying them. It'll make it easier to roll. Okay. I'm going to do that with my shrimp right now. be careful when you're doing this. I have cut my finger before swiping too fast, going like this. Now, do we have vegetarians in here?
Yep.
I know, I think we may have a vegan in here. We have vegetarians. I've had, you can put salmon in here, tofu, oh, some grilled tofu, or some crispy tofu would be awesome in here too.
With
I'm
tofu,
doing
I like to freeze it, and then you get like a chewy texture.
Yes, if you freeze your tofu and then thaw it and press it, the air, because the ice expands, right? And then when you let it thaw out all of the water, the ice melts, the water comes out, you press it and get the moisture out, and you are left with a chewier and fluffier tofu, actually. Yes, great tip. I'm sorry, somebody said that they were using something.
Mushrooms.
Oh, you're using mushrooms. Ah, that is such a great meaty texture.
I went ahead, I was gonna put them in raw, but I went ahead and sauteed them.
You wanted it in what? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
I originally was gonna put them in raw, but I went ahead and sauteed them.
Great. You'll have a nice, meaty umami flavor. I do love the taste of raw mushrooms, but after you saute them, something comes out that gives that umami-ness. And I think you'll really enjoy that in your spring roll or in your summer roll. Okay, so these are my vermicelli noodles. Again, you can cut them into palm length if you would like, or you can keep them long and get scissors and cut them as you go. So that is up to you. We are just about ready to start rolling.
How do we roll?
So,
how do you roll? No.
how do you roll? So, I just want to first, get to know where everybody is who is cooking, so we don't go too far ahead before we start rolling.
I have 3 more shrimp to cut.
3 more shrimp to cut? Okay, no problem. Anybody else? Jelani, what about you?
I'm waiting for the rolling.
Oh, you're waiting for the rolling. Okay. All right.
Are there specific cutting techniques that you recommend?
Specific cutting techniques such as julienning.
Yeah.
For this particular dish, yes, julienning would be your best bet for all of your vegetables. I understand not everybody may have a cleaver, so a paring knife would be great for the shrimp. Here, is that better? Yeah, I think that's better.
Even just getting the tails off, any recommendations?
Oh, getting the tail. Okay, so here, I actually have one shrimp right here. So, right here, we have shrimp with the tail. Is this what your shrimp basically looks like?
1 second. Yep.
Yeah? Okay, so there's this little, when you pinch right here at the tail, you'll feel there's a little joint. When you pinch that and you do it with your fingernail right there, you see how that came apart?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to just pull it off. And if you have fresh shrimp, using a toothpick for deveining would be the best way to devein. If you're peeling shrimp, yes?
I've also done just crushing that tail. That way it kind of comes apart already. But
oh, I see. So
like
you're
just
saying you're twisting it or you're crushing it?
crushing it, so it just kind of comes.
You're crushing it this way. Sometimes, and while that is a great method, sometimes whenever you crush it, you end up flattening this so much that if you end up frying shrimp like this may become overdone. This front two knuckles, front two pieces may become
Yeah.
overdone if it's too flat. So if you have, you can use your thumbnail right here, which my nails are cut short, but even then you press right
Yeah.
here at that joint and
Yeah.
it will create an air pocket that allows you to just pull it off without flattening this.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
like I'm not cooking, but these are like little techniques that make these interesting. Because
Absolutely. Can't wait.
I'll make
Wash
this
my hands.
dish and they're not. Those are techniques that it's like, how do you do it?
Well, it comes to efficiency too, because unless you've done it, you may not know. But that's the really great thing about sharing experiences.
I've also
All
had
right.
issues when it's frozen. Like if it's frozen, try and take those off. It becomes even more difficult. Like, because I'll get
Right.
frozen shrimp.
Well, sometimes frozen shrimp can be too mushy.
Yeah.
And that is, the unfortunate thing about frozen versus fresher shrimp. That is one unfortunate thing. However, you can still use the same method with the air pocket and pulling. And if you have raw shrimp, you can use a toothpick to devein. And then if your shrimp is all over shell, you crack it at the third white line, crack it, and then you would be able to peel the front piece in one piece and the back piece in one piece. Okay, so everybody have their shrimp and their vegetables all done? I think we're all about in the same place. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. So we have, go ahead and get yourself a big bowl and fill it halfway with warm water. It doesn't have to be super hot, but you don't want it to be cold.
My rice noodle water, I can use that again, right?
You can, yes, absolutely.
It went cold though, so I need.
Maybe just add a little bit of warm water.
And I got my scissors for my noodles.
Will a large pan work? I don't have a large.
A large pan, that's fine too.
Okay, I'm gonna go heat it up. I don't have hot water.
Just make sure your water is warm.
These ones are Three Ladies brand from Vietnam.
I also have the same kind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, oh, there you go.
Beautiful printed. It's like, it looks like it's been printed.
Well, actually, the great thing about these are going to be your guidelines.
Oh.
Right. This will tell you when your rice paper is saturated enough. So let's see, make sure that you guys can see. Pull up this.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I've got a very small kitchen. I'm trying to organize things.
It's okay.
All right.
So we have our bowl of warm water.
Oh. Keep it from getting too hot.
And let me know when we all have
I'm
our
ready.
bowl ready. Oh, you're ready? Oh, okay.
I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Oh, okay. So the thing to remember about rice paper is we want it to be flexible, but not entirely soft because they end up getting harder to work with. So have either a wooden or plastic cutting board nearby. Okay, and we're going to dunk our rice paper in the warm water. Now, if you have a pan, it may be easier because you might be able to put the whole thing in there. What I have to do is rotate
Yep, me too.
the rice paper. And you see
bowl,
your
still has to
your
rotate.
guidelines end up melting away.
Ooh.
You see. So when you start to see that the guidelines have almost disappeared.
Oh, it's all
Very
wrinkly.
faint.
Ah,
Oh no!
I got it too wet.
Just a little bit. You put it on your rice paper. Okay, we have to work a little quickly. So we have our lettuce. Right? I'm going to fold my lettuce in half. We have our lettuce right here. And then we have the rest of our ingredients. So we put in some cucumber, some bell pepper.
My problem is I'll probably have the usual problem of putting too much stuff.
Oh, some basil and some spring onion. Okay. And then let's not forget the rest of our ingredients because we did have a lot. We also have our carrots. And we also have our egg. So our egg is pretty thin. And you can put a good amount. I've got 4 in here. And let's not forget our shrimp, which conveniently is thin, so we don't have too much trouble trying to wrap this up. I'm going to put 4
translucent.
4 slices of shrimp here.
Look at it's no longer a circle, but I know it's gonna taste good, but it definitely doesn't taste good.
So now we're gonna start wrapping, okay? So our filling is at the bottom 1/3 of our rice paper. Okay, we're going to tightly pull the bottom of it over. Okay, and roll one more time just to secure everything. And then take in from the sides. Now, some people like to start from the sides first, but the mistake in this.
It actually doesn't look too bad. Well,
right,
no, never mind.
Well, the mistake in doing your sides first end up being that your inside can come out very easily, right? And here we go, our first roll.
Yum, yum.
And the lettuce is too big.
Your lettuce is too big,
but here it is.
Let's see. Hold on, let me get the gallery out. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
So my eggs got screwed up and
beautiful.
Oh man, Emily, yours looks perfect.
I think it's beautiful.
Screwed up and ended up
Mine isn't even cylindrical.
There's Lulu. Look at Lulu's.
I think it's beautiful.
Job. Good
and
job.
It's gonna taste so good. It's gonna taste so
Where's
good.
the dipping sauce? I'm ready.
Oh, you're already ready.
Well, it's made. I'm ready to eat it. So we got.
Okay, we can make and eat at the same time. Okay, so we can all eat our first ones together. We can all eat our first ones together. If you want to put this to the side, let's go ahead and make our dipping sauce so we can have cheers for our summer rolls. Let's get a bowl out. And I already have all my ingredients here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah? I feel like maybe I need to pull away a little bit. Maybe that's better.
Raise the camera up a little bit, maybe. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Perfect. Whoop, whoop. Just right. Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So we're going to make our sauce so we can all eat together for our first one. Okay. I seem to feel like it's not. Okay, there we go. Let's start off with our peanut butter. And I've got just plain creamy peanut butter. However, if you are trying to cut on calories, feel free to use PB Fit. If you don't like peanut butter, feel free to use almond butter. If you are allergic to nuts, feel free to use sunflower seed butter, which I've also used before. It also turns out really great, super yummy. So I'm going to use two heaping spoons of our peanut butter.
Goodness, she gave us a measurement.
Yes, 2 heaping spoons. Now I can't tell you if it's tablespoon. But just, whichever spoon you're happening to use. We've got 2 spoons of that. And then get out your rice vinegar. And we're going to do 2 spoons of the rice vinegar as well. Now, depending on your own taste.
I only have a gallon of rice vinegar. I mean, can I put a cup in?
Can you put a cup of rice vinegar?
I couldn't find my little thing of rice vinegar.
Well, conveniently, I only keep this for shelf purposes because also down in the cabinet, I also have a gallon. So you're not alone.
I'm sure I had a little one, but anyway.
You're not alone.
So the important thing I'm gonna use the cap instead of teaspoon.
Oh, instead of spoons. So the important thing here is you want to mix the vinegar with the peanut butter first. Okay. And it's because the vinegar is going to break down the peanut butter a lot easier before you add in everything else. And that way you're not left with like a big chunk of stuff trying to mix it together. So
it makes it really nice and smooth that way easily.
Yes. Makes it much easier for you. Now I know if you have a food processor, your life is already much simpler. It's all quick and easy.
You have to clean it.
Oh, but if you use it often, it's really not too much of a hassle to clean.
I mean, usually I make the sauce in the container I'm going to store it in.
Oh, but you could still use the food processor one. So now we've got some soy sauce.
All right. Any particular kind?
I currently have this as low sodium, but actually I'm also using this bottle as a convenient spice rack bottle. I have a big old gallon of restaurant soy sauce underneath my cabinet. And it's
I'm
actually
one of those weirdos who have like 5 different kinds of soy sauce.
So the thing with soy sauce, you are welcome to use coconut aminos. You're welcome to use tamari or reduced sodium. The thing is, as long as it suits your taste. Now, there is a difference between dark, like black soy sauce versus table soy sauce. If you would like a darker mushroom flavor, then you are welcome to use black soy sauce.
I actually think I have a mushroom soy sauce.
Oh, good.
I like adding that to like soup just to give it a little pop. I don't have mushrooms.
It gives a good deeper flavor, but also a nice color. And now I'm going to put in some Haitian sauce, some plum sauce. Just a little squeeze of that. It's probably 1 tablespoon. And we're going to first mix that together.
Did you say?
Of course,
Did you say hoisin sauce?
Yes, Haitian sauce, hoisin sauce.
If you don't have that, what can someone use?
It's got a lot of sugar in it, hoisin.
It does, but it adds a nice little savory, sweet flavor.
It's all about sweet and sour combination.
Yeah, layering flavors here.
So far you've put equal parts, it seems like.
Vinegar, the rice vinegar and soy sauce are equal. The Haitian sauce is a little bit less. All right, so you can see using the vinegar first really broke down that peanut butter, so it still kind of remains pretty easy to mix. But again, if you have a food processor, your life is just super easy. All right.
Yeah, I have one. I almost never use it because I always hate cleaning up.
Oh, really?
Oh, I've got a small one that's like 2 cups or something.
Yeah, I would love a food processor.
Fred, that's exactly what I have. I have like a little 2 cup.
So I'm going to go ahead and grate in garlic and ginger.
I chopped it all.
You what?
I just chopped all my garlic. That's so much easier. Oh.
It's okay. Take your chopped garlic and continue to chop it some more and it'll mince it.
I know, but I was just like, that's so much easier.
Have you ever seen one of these?
Hold on, let me gallery. Okay. Where are you?
Right here. You wet this, and then you take your garlic, and you just rub it.
Oh, it's the glass one, isn't it? I think I've seen something like that. Ceramic. Okay.
And
So
then
it's like a ceramic plate with like little nubs that.
Yeah, the best thing though, you got to remember to wet it. It makes it real easy. And then you got this little brush. So how much are we putting in? Just what we like.
2 cloves is unless you don't like strong. Unless you don't like strong garlic flavor. 2 cloves. If you don't, maybe stick with 1 clove instead.
I figured out I can never be a vampire. I love garlic too much.
I cheat. I have garlic ginger paste. Indian garlic ginger paste.
Garlic ginger paste. You may need to put a little bit more than we would with garlic ginger paste. The thing with already minced or grated garlic and ginger is that the longer time it is from the time that it was minced or grated, it loses its pungency.
Yeah.
So you may need to put a little bit more if you want that garlic ginger flavor.
You also use for the ginger too.
Yes. So ginger, if you have this knobby ginger right here, I'm going to use a spoon to peel it first. So really simple. You don't have to use a paring knife. And just using the spoon to run it across the peel makes a quick job of it.
I missed.
And then you
put all the garlic and ginger in already.
No, I'm peeling my ginger first, and then the nice thing is when you have all this ginger peel, you can use it to make some ginger tea as well. All right, so I have my peeled ginger. I'm going to grate that in about probably a thumb's worth of ginger.
So a little more ginger than garlic, or just a matter of taste?
Oh yes. Well, if you're using 1 clove, then use probably 1 equal parts of ginger and garlic. Okay, so
how many servings is this that you're making?
Probably enough for 2 people.
Okay.
With a little sauce left over. Okay, so
what would be something you would say not to put in this roll, no matter what?
Not to put in this roll.
Like, could I put a slice of apple in?
You could. I have made fruit summer rolls before, actually, with a yogurt dipping sauce with mango and strawberry and kiwi. Wrap it in rice paper, and then instead of a peanut sauce, I made a yogurt dipping sauce instead. These are so versatile. You could put anything.
All right, everybody, I challenge you to all ask her something that you can put in there, because I want something that can't be put in.
Oh, it'll be difficult to find. It'd be difficult.
I mean, apparently you probably don't want to put anything that's very wet because it would turn it gooey.
True. But
I have some crab salad. Crab salad is just chopped up crab and celery and carrots, but it has mayo in it, so it's pretty wet. And I was thinking of using that as my meat, but I think it would be too wet.
If you ate it within the same period, you could. Don't let it sit.
Or what was that?
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is sesame oil.
Oh.
How we were talking about our big jugs. This is my big jug of sesame oil.
All I have is toasted sesame oil.
That's fine. This is also a toasted sesame oil. And then I like mine a little spicy, a lot spicy actually. So I'm going to add in my chili garlic crisp. Let's see, where did I, oh, here it is, my chopsticks. Some chili garlic crisp.
Ooh, I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's
a little spicy. I used this
why do you have it in a plastic bag also?
because it can leak sometimes from the lid. Oh, from the lid top. Sometimes it can leak. So I have a paper towel and a bag right here just to, keep hands clean. Also, if you happen to get this oil on you and you aren't washing your hands properly and you touch your eyes, it'll burn.
Yeah, the only
Not
time
that I'm
I've ever
speaking
seen
from
someone
experience.
put it in a plastic bag was stuff that like smells. So they
Oh,
double-
no. No, it's just to protect your hands. All right, so we have some water to thin it out as it is very thick right now. So let's add a little bit of water, thin it out. And we put a lot of strong flavors in here, so don't worry about it being watered down.
Now, I also just like garlic, ginger, soy sauce, and vinegar mixed together as a sauce.
Oh, as a good dipping sauce, yeah.
Maybe with a little, hopefully not.
A little bit of spring onion, a little bit of chili pepper.
Ooh, I put some spring onions in there.
Even black vinegar, if you guys ever get access to a grocery store that carries black vinegar.
It really changed consistency when you added the water.
And as you keep stirring,
And color. It went from like
it lightens up.
Oh, this is looks like something you'd spread on a cake for me. I might add some more water.
You may need some more water, yeah. You want it, so the consistency we're looking for, I have a more watery part right here, is when we bring up our spoon, we want it to flow evenly without breaking for at least, 2-3 seconds. So mine is still a little lumpy, just a little bit more water. If anybody bakes cakes or cookies, you want it to be like runny icing, essentially. Not
Sesame oil did you put in?
I'm sorry?
How much sesame oil did you put in?
Until my ancestors told me that was good.
There you go. I'll talk to my Irish ancestors.
Yeah. Basically, you don't necessarily want as much as the soy sauce or the Haitian sauce. It is there to flavor because sesame oil is actually very strong. It has a very strong sesame scent and flavor, so you don't need much. A little goes a long way. So try with, I guess if we're using spoons, maybe try with, try about as much as your thumbnail first. Okay, so if you like a thicker sauce, maybe this would be an okay consistency. A little thinner is okay too. I personally want it to just be a little bit thinner. And again, if you have a food processor, it's like 3 clicks, and you're basically done.
So I have homemade peanut butter, and I realize my peanut butter does not have very much salt in it. So when I taste it, it tastes kind of shy on salt from me. Would that just be more soy sauce?
You can use some soy sauce, you can use salt. So the difference between using the soy sauce and the salt is whether or not you want that other layer of flavor. So I think, just in my opinion, one of the most important things about cooking is making sure that you're tasting as you cook.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm glad that you tasted yours.
Yeah. Oh, I've been tasting it every step of the way. It's just how
good. Okay.
That's why I'm never hungry. To eat.
So for mine, because mine was a store-bought peanut butter, I actually don't need any salt or any more soy sauce for mine. And I actually need just a little bit more sugar or honey or maple syrup.
Oh, you put honey in? I missed that.
Oh.
Oh no, I didn't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I have not yet.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying absolutely taste as you go. And for you, with your homemade peanut butter, you need a little bit more salt, right? With my store-bought peanut butter, I, for my taste, need a little bit more sweetness. The soy sauce would make your sauce watery, more watery. So stop adding your water. And if you want to add soy sauce, then go ahead and put it in. I'm going to add some honey. Where is everybody else in their sauce making process?
See somebody eating.
Oh yeah?
I don't have like
You
any of
already
the
started without us?
I don't have like any of the ingredients for the sauce, and they're super expensive here. So I just mixed soy sauce with sriracha.
Oh, that's still delicious too,
That's
though.
my go-to dipping sauce.
And you know, ironically, I want more garlic and more ginger in mine, actually, as I'm tasting this through.
Emily, try it with the peanut butter next time.
Oh, what did you use instead?
I just mixed soy sauce with sriracha.
That's very good, though.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
Well, I already ate my first one and I just used some Thai chili sauce.
That's also really good.
I was
You
really
can do
quiet.
no wrong.
Mm. That's interesting because it really doesn't taste like peanut butter.
Mm-mm.
It's just like the peanut butter is almost just like thick in it. Yeah, I mean,
Really good
I
thing.
don't really
Continue?
taste the peanut butter.
You don't hate the peanut butter? Is that what you said?
No, taste it.
Oh, you don't taste the peanut butter.
Not much. But
Peanut butter is just a vehicle. It's got a nutty flavor, but you don't necessarily want it to taste as if you're dipping your spoon in peanut butter.
I realize since it's homemade peanut butter, there's no sugar in it either. So.
Oh, that's true.
mm-hmm.
All right, so we have our sauce. Yes, is everyone happy with their sauce, or are we still tweaking?
I'm tweaking.
All
We're
right.
still tweaking. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else can we?
I guess I need to probably heat up my water again.
Oh, that's right, because we took a little detour, didn't we? So we could eat ours for our first ones together.
Well, I have to make another one because I already ate mine. So.
Okay. Are we still tweaking?
No, I'm good.
No, we're good? Okay. So now, and this is just me, we have our sauce. We can top it off with some sesame seeds.
Oh, sesame seeds.
Top it off with some sesame seeds and our red chili flake.
You just putting that in the mix?
I am putting it in the sauce. And then we have some of our, I'm gonna take a little sprig of green onion here. All right. We have our sauce.
The chives,
Chives or green onion if you would like.
Yep.
There. Ooh, okay.
nice.
We have our sauce. My iPad precariously dangling. We have our sauce.
Yeah.
We have our first little spring roll here. Are we ready for a little cheers?
Hey.
Everybody got theirs? Yeah?
Yep.
I got mine here.
Yeah? Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Have our first bite.
Do you dip it in or pour the sauce on it?
Mm.
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Mm-hmm. The basil
There's
is
one
really very good.
ingredient that didn't go in. I got some cream. Where should that have gone? Was it going with the eggs?
The cream? And the eggs. The eggs.
Oh, okay. Next time.
But it's okay if you didn't. You know, it just makes it a little bit fluffier, a little creamier.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm ready to make another one. I really like how that peanut sauce, it has a lot of flavor, but you don't really taste the peanut. I was expecting it to.
If you would like, you can add more peanut butter. I've also added PB2, which is powdered peanut butter, if you wanted more peanut flavor. However, the peanut sauce is a vehicle for other flavors as well. So while you would think it is peanut dominant, there are other flavors at play too.
Oh, it's got tons of flavor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can almost make them as fast as I eat them. All right.
Would that be the same sauce if you were doing saute, like a saute, like chicken or?
No, they make it a lot sweeter. This one doesn't really have any peanut flavor. Like the Thai satay sauce. That's definitely more.
That has a lot more. That has a lot more sugar in it. This is true.
And it tastes more like peanut butter. This one, I don't taste like next to any peanut butter.
It's delicious.
It's got so many other flavors that.
The peanut butter is a way for it to be creamy, but the nuttiness along with the creaminess plays well with the other flavors.
And it's the fat.
Which again, if you wanted to use almond butter, cashew butter, sunflower seed butter, and if you wanted a super peanut flavor, I do recommend
I cracked that one.
What is it?
Oh, this one, putting it in the water, I cracked it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I recommend PB2, which is a peanut butter powder. And that will help you have more peanut flavor without having to add more peanut butter to make it stickier, or lose flavor if you add more water. Because you run the risk of it being too sticky in that case. All right, so who's ready to make their third or second? I'm sorry.
I'm on it.
You're on it. Great.
But I have a bit of a mess with the roll. It cracked and now it's kind of folding all over itself. And I'm trying to tease
I'm probably going to head out.
so it's flat again.
See you, Nathan.
See ya.
See you, Nathan.
Okay. Thank you for joining. So the thing to remember is that we want the texture to still be there. We don't want it to be so soaked that there's no texture. If you wait until there's no texture, then it will be too soft. and you do run the risk of it breaking on you or sticking too much for you. However, if you still maintain some texture, you'll
I'm
be able
almost taking it
to.
out when it's still like really, when you wave it like this, it makes like a plastic sound. I don't know if that.
Well, I mean, these are very delicate because they're so thin, right? They soak up the water and soften very easily. So you don't want it to be in there for too long. And add on to the fact that we're using warm water.
Yeah, I think the other problem I have is my bowl isn't quite big enough. I think I'm going to switch to a bigger bowl, so I don't have to try to force the wrapper in there.
I
Or
found
can
that
It just takes practice. What were you saying?
a pie
works really well
dish
with a
works
pan.
well.
Uh-oh, I hear a double. Say that one more time.
It works really well with a pan.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I can't understand. Could you say it one more time for me?
I'm just gonna put it in the chat.
Oh,
A pie tray.
Yeah.
Or,
oh,
know,
a pie
pan.
tray.
A pie pan, you know, a circle pie pan.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that makes.
Can you guys see?
Mine is.
Mhm.
I run it. I mean, I barely, because it's warm, I just barely dip it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it still continues to soften after.
Yes. It's got a heat carryover.
All right.
So once you make a couple more, you start to get the hang of it. And you may even begin to get super confident and start stuffing like crazy.
You what crazy?
Stuffing like crazy?
Yeah, so far I've been not putting much.
Stuffing like crazy? You
But
can.
There's my stack, but look how they're not really very nice looking, but I know they'll taste okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They're tasty.
All right. I think I have enough for like 2 minutes. I've made 7 so far.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know about yours, but mine are pretty. That's my fist.
Oh man, yeah, you got like twice the stuff I had in mind. I'm so nervous because I know anytime I wrap things, if it's sushi or what is it? When I make tamales, just anything I make, I always like, or tacos, I always put too much in. So yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Well, the good thing is that regardless, it will be delicious. And I feel like we've made enough to even have leftovers.
Mm-hmm. Speak for yourself.
Emily, I was thinking the same thing, but.
Although I might not have made as much as you.
Well, the good thing is it's super easy to make, right?
Yeah.
Now that we've gone through this, it's actually pretty simple.
Yeah, this is one of those things at the restaurant where I spend a lot of money. Like,
yes, exactly.
$12 at my local restaurant for these.
Is it?
And except they have I keep forgetting to put the egg in it.
Don't forget the egg, it's delicious.
Yep, it's in a different location. All right, here it is. What they do is they do a really nice marinated tofu that they
A
have.
marinated what? I'm sorry?
Tofu.
Oh, tofu, yes. Grilled tofu, fried tofu, they're all great things to put inside.
All right. I know you like plating it. Do you want to make a plate and show it right at the end, and we'll wrap up?
Yeah,
And
sure.
then-
Sure. I will make this one more. We'll have a nice little plate.
I mean, I have a nice stack of them, but I wouldn't say nice. I have a stack of them.
Oh, they're equally as nice. Don't give yourself, or don't take away credit from yourself.
Well, I mean, it's going in my belly, so it doesn't have to look. But
Well, it'll look nice and it'll taste nice.
I do need to practice making things look nice but for other people. What do you call it? For the Instagram crowd.
Right. For the
Which is like-
Foodstagram.
I actually, I remember as a teenager, I got to taste a lot of the food from someone who was making a cookbook. And it was so funny how long it would take them to make a plate for the picture. And it was all like fake. You know, they painted it, they put like different little things, and I mean, all right. Stuff one. I think I'm getting a little. No, I take that back. I was gonna say I'm getting better, but this one just fell apart. Actually getting worse. Less patient.
I found that when I kept the spring onion real long, I didn't like it as much because I bite and it all pull out. So I'm kind of chopping it up a little finer.
Oh, that's what I did with mine. I chopped it up, the green onion fine.
Yeah, it's better.
But that's not how you do it. Like
I have mine in slivers.
Yeah, but I took a bite and it was like, it was hanging on. You use both the white and the green part, right?
I do. Actually, the white parts are the sweeter part of the green onion, and the green parts are the more pungent parts of the green onion.
So much fun. I like making them kind of skinny because then I could eat more.
Well, it's wonderful to have the versatility, right?
Right.
Because again, like we spoke before, you can put fruit in here and have a dipping sauce that would be more conducive for fruit, even.
Sounds good.
And it would still be equally as delicious.
All right.
Cute.
It does, when the water cools down, it does have a harder time soaking.
Bye, Laura.
Saying bye to Sayuri.
So Sayuri from Brazil made it, and Laura from Chile.
Good crowd. Good crowd tonight.
Like diverse all over the world.
It really is. I'm so happy that you guys invited me.
Oh, you might want to hang out next
me.
week. We're gonna have pupusas. All right. I think my last one's gonna be a fat one. I'm gonna use up all the leftovers. We'll see. And I fit it all in. You believe you can. It's so quiet. Everybody's eating.
I'm still assembling.
I know you've been eating along the way, so don't.
Yeah, I ate my first 3 I ate as soon as I made them. Now I'm trying to build up a stash.
I mean, it's so hard to stop because they're so delicious.
Yeah, it's like they're in your
Yeah, I'm
hand.
not gonna lie.
And
I
you know,
get back to the
they're very healthy. It's very healthy and fresh.
don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. This is not healthy. This is decadent.
Yes, definitely. All right, let's take some pretty ones.
And I did make.
I forgot the noodles.
Oh, have you not been putting in the noodles?
Totally forgetting the noodles.
Oh no.
My
It's
first
okay.
half, I
That means
forgot
you'll
to
have
put the eggs in. I had it set to the side.
I'm
So I
That means you'll
understand.
have to make more.
Look at this bowl of noodles going, oh no. No wonder why mine are so skinny.
That means you'll have to make more. All right. Let's take a look. All right, we've got.
All right.
Oh,
Right here.
oh, that's beautiful.
Nice.
What did you put on top of the sauce? It's like sesame seeds and a little basil. And
I've got white sesame
Chives.
seed. Yeah, white sesame seed, black sesame seed. And then I chiffonaded some basil and some chives, and then I drizzled red chili oil.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do like
So
it.
there we go.
Can you double wrap them? I have to because this one busted open.
Double wrap them, yeah. You can double wrap them. Just know that, you know, the skin will be a little thick. So let's see if I can get you guys back on the little stand.
I was a little bit nervous because I ordered these from like a specialty store and they got delivered yesterday and they showed up.
What are they?
The paper. Can you see it? Like they're all broken. So
they're all broken?
Yeah. So this is what I have to work with. So I was like, oh no. And I tried calling and I tried like contacting them, but they didn't answer. And I left a message, they didn't call me back. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to go with it. And it worked out okay.
Yeah, just
So
roll
most
with
of
it.
mine were, like,
Literally.
open. Most of mine were open on one end. But that was
But that's okay. That's okay. If you cut them, so we had them about the palm of our hand, right here. You know what?
Emily, it will
Where
just
were yours
like you
broken?
took the first bite. That's all.
right.
Right here. It was about like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can just make one together.
Yeah, it worked out fine.
So do you want to say anything final? I'll stop the recording and get so
Anything final? Well, thank you for.
This is like one of my favorite like things to like buy at the. Well, here's my
thank you
pile
for
of them.
spending your time with me.
They don't look that great, but I know that they'll. And I've already ate 4 of them.
I think they look great. I think they look tasty.
I like how you can see through that.
You like how what?
You can see through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you know, actually, rice paper is super versatile. You can make them into little fried desserts as well. So,
Elaborate, please.
so you know, putting some banana, some cinnamon, even make them into little desserts with like a little butterscotch, like drizzle, caramel drizzle. Super versatile.
Yeah, would you like to say anything to wrap up? And then I'll stop the recording.
I'm sorry?
Would you like to say anything to wrap up and then we'll stop the recording?
Oh, yes. Thank you for spending your evening with me tonight. Thank you for making summer rolls with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, you know, we get to do something again soon. And I hope you had a good time. We had good conversation. and full stomachs.
Thank you.